Joining me now is the General Secretary, Association of Nigerian Aviation Professionals, Comrade Saidu Razak. Comrade, good morning. Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's been a while, though.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
now,
you
let's talk about this issue of scarcity of aviation fuel and issues in the aviation sector. You are there. Give us an enlightenment at this time. What is responsible for this scarcity of aviation fuel? Jet A1.
Thank you very much. I am happy to be here again. First of all, we have to determine the cause, the effect, then we are trying to find a solution. The cause of all this is refineries malfunctioning, because I don't see how we will have refineries in this country and we cannot be able to produce rather than importing. So, and that is the reason why all this type of threat is coming.
Yeah, but the refineries have not been working optimally for so many years now. So
why must it not work? Because we have been telling them to do this, and there have been millions, billions of money being expended into this, being budgeted for this, and nobody hold anybody responsible for mismanagement of those resources. One, so the blame have to go to the government first. Then the second one is, you see, when you want to go into a business, you know that aviation is capital intensive.
Yeah.
You must do your survey. Most of all these airlines, they don't have the wherewithal of the aviation business, how to run aviation business. That is why you see most of them, they've liquidated. So
is it because they don't have what it takes, the skill, the manpower, the knowledge?
They don't have what it takes.
We have airlines also liquidating in other parts of the world at different times,
but not as often as Nigeria. You can name it. You can continue to name it, not as Nigeria. But look, for an airline to be giving threat to the government, we will shut down. You see, air is just the fastest, one of the means of transportation in this country. So you don't threat because you don't threaten the government because you want to shut down. So now, Would you see that, Comrade? Would you see that as a threat, or they are speaking from out of the frustration of the fact that things are not working, and based on whatever resources they have at their disposal, they are not able to work beyond 3 days? You see, I listened to their spokesman. The way he spoke is a threat that within 3 days they will shut down. You shut down. Is that going to affect the government? It's not going to affect the government. And again, this airline they're calling airline operators of Nigeria, we have board of airline representatives that are foreign airlines. We have about 3 different types of organizations that are owning, claiming that they are operators of airline. So, but what we are saying in a nutshell is that we have told them before that those airlines should join hands as they are doing overseas. They refuse to join hands. They want to claim that this is their own. Yeah, and they cannot run it.
We understand a group of airlines came together recently to commence the Spring Alliance. They call it the Spring Alliance.
No, where are they? Where is the airline? Seeing the alliance in the paper, using the press to propagate. One of those problems that is worrying the airlines is that they will announce that they acquire this aircraft, acquire that aircraft. They don't tell us whether it is wet list or dry list. So, and the wet list, you must service it. It's really capital instead. You are now saying that you want foreign something. The time you are assessing it, nobody hears you. But because the federal government put some measures that you must follow, you cannot cut corner. Now you are now shouting. No, what happened when? Because that the Senate, the Deputy Senate, something asked a question. What happened to your
Deputy Speaker? Yes,
sorry. Ask a question, very vital question, but they cannot answer it because it's irrelevant. When they were making the money, they were diverting the money for another business, not facing air transportation, not facing their airline.
So
therefore,
what you're saying is that the challenges in the aviation sector right now is caused by the airlines. Is that what you're saying?
Is a part of it. Government and the airline. Government gave room for them to grow wings.
When you say government give the room for them to grow wings, how is that? Can you explain that?
Give them room. Yes, you cannot. There is a regulatory body by government. You cannot just wake up one day and say you jump your aircraft your ticket to so amount without getting the approval of the regulatory body. Then you trying to be defending it. This is the reason why. This is the reason why we increase it without justification, without approval, and it has been happening. Later now they will bring it down. Then they will bring it up again in a country that we have government. So we cannot take that one any longer. We cannot just be used as a tools for their own selfish interest. What have they done with the money they have been making? One, don't forget that we have confronted them that the passenger services revenue that they collect from the passenger, they have lifted those passengers. They have collected that money 5%. They spend it and turn it as a debt to us. It's stealing public fund. So EFCC is supposed to even probe that.
Yeah, but if you're aware, if you are aware, either yourself or your union, if you are aware that there is mismanagement of those funds, why don't you write a petition to the EFCC?
We have done that. We have told the National Assembly, both the Senate and House of Rep. The person talking just now, we've met at the open hearing, and we have challenged them. We get our papers ready. We submitted it to them. They are so much indebted, they will tell them to go and reconcile. They will not reconcile. There's one of the ministers that said that you have to pay as you go. So the moment they changed it, they went and used this political connection, they removed that minister, they come back to owing the public fund that me as a passenger, I paid. You have to pay the government. You will not pay the government. You now consume it and now turn it into debt. We don't agree on that. So government is looking at that. But now that the NNPC said they are going to give them a license to import, they will now know how it takes. Not only to just say, Jet A is costly like this, it's too cost for them. What of when it was cheaper? What have you done with your operational cost? Because most of them, they lease the aircraft, either wet or dry lease. And when you lease, you must pay. Some of them, they will not pay. But by the time the leaser now turn heat on them that they want to seize the aircraft, you will see them, they will be delaying. They will be delaying aircraft because they will be having shortage of aircraft.
All right.
They will be delaying passengers. Yeah. They will be cancelling flights at will.
Is that the reason why they cancel flights and reschedule?
It's one of the reasons. One of the reasons. Because you see, before you are registered, the ICAO standard, there must be a number of aircraft you have before you are registered, before they allow you to operate as a commercial airline. But in Nigeria, we will see some of them cutting corner, getting 2 aircrafts and get AOC and so on and so forth. But when you get 2 aircrafts and one is faulty or went for a 6-year corridor, how can the remaining one meet all those areas that and you see the passengers purchase your ticket online. So
you're under obligation to take them to various destinations.
So you see the passengers without even informing them. They'll be telling you due to operational reason. What is operational reason? That is what and by that time you have stayed 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. They will be repeating operational reason. What is operational reason, for God's sake? We expected the regulatory body to have called them to order, to have at least sanitized that airline operators in this country. When you say airline operators, how many of them that have airline? Most of them that are talking that they are airline operators of Nigeria, they don't have airline. It's only few of them. Few of them have airline. They knew how it is. Those who have airline Are they following the ICAO standard? Are they following the normal procedure of running an airline? No. They were doing it the way they like it.
Yeah,
and the way they like it is not business as usual.
Yeah, comrade. But the point there is the picture you're painting now looks like there's some kind of chaos in the aviation sector where it seems nothing is working the way it's supposed to be. Is that what you're saying?
That is what I'm saying. It's not working the way it's supposed to be. When you see an airline owing the service provider, and you know that you must pay, and you don't pay, you are diverting the money, or you deliberately sat on that money, you didn't pay them, then what is that normal? It's not normal. They don't do so in overseas. If you owe in overseas, Nigerian airline, they will seize your aircraft over there until you pay. But here, it is man no man. You will hear telephone from the above, leaving on the above. Then the debt pile up. What of the staff? What of the aviation workers? Are they not going to be paid? What of the equipment, aeronautical equipment that they were using? The pilot, because they were making use of it, are they not going to maintain or replace it? What of the landing in the wrong way they were using? Are they not going to? What of the wrong way lights? All these type of things are the services they are enjoying, but they are not paying. I challenge them. Bring them. Let us debate one-on-one, because we've met at the National Assembly. We have confronted them. They were fighting each other before the National Assembly. I have authority to say that because I was in that open hearing. You see.
All right, comrade. Now that the NNPC is looking at the possibility of giving airlines the license or the go-ahead to import their own fuel, what is going to change?
Well, until that is done, because most of them may likely like to be an importer and exporter of oil. It's just unfortunate that we maybe rumors that some Nigerians, wealthy Nigerians, went and opened refineries in neighboring African countries and bring it through our crude oil and bring it back here at a high cost. So the real issue there is the refineries must be made to work. There is nothing that is stopping it not to work, if not corruption. It is not conspiracy against the nation. It is not conspiracy against Nigerians. How can some country that have no oil, they have refinery, is working, and they don't have oil, fuel crisis, and we have how many refineries, and none of them that are really functioning? Is that not enough to arrest some people? Is that not enough for heads to roll in that area? Now it's announcing that they want to give them the license to import. How is it going to meet this type of crisis that is there right now? We have emergency crisis.
You don't think they should be given that license? License
to import this?
To import Jet A1?
Okay. Why can't the NNPC man say that we are going to repair this refinery between now and so they'll be working? Are we not producing in this country before?
Yeah, but
it's just like kerosene.
Yeah, but the point there is, as it is right now, if we look at the realities of it, it's going to take some time to fix the refineries for them to work optimally.
It's going to take some time also to import Jet A1 because you have to get the license, you have to find your
buyers,
buyer
and sellers, as a case.
Then when you bring it, they will offload it before you start to market it. It takes up some time also.
Right. So are you saying that they shouldn't be given the license?
What the government should do, and which I'm saying that I'm supporting the Deputy Speaker of the House, is they must stop this blackmail, because we see it is a political blackmail. I challenge the airline operators of Nigeria. I challenge them in many ways. Economically,
to what extent?
Operationally, I challenge them. That they wanted is a blackmail. It's a blackmail because what I'm saying is a blackmail is that when you are buying this fuel cheaply, you are operating, you are making money. Yet the passenger services, landing and parking, you are owing it. Are you sincere? Are you a patriotic Nigerian? Are you doing a very good business? Then you can have the guts to come out and issue threat that you will shut down in 3 days. You will shut down in 3 days. Well, what concerns us there? If you want to shut down, it's your business. You're supposed to know that this thing is capital intensive. It's not you don't run your business based on political lineage. What I'm saying is based on political lineage. It is not what is in the reality. Even though now it's 500, they say 500 naira per liter for this Getty one. So, yeah, if it's 500 naira per liter, does that one make you to carry the ticket to 50 and you are saying that it will be 150? Can himself pay? Himself that is talking like that, can he pay that type of amount? Well, it's good. You can raise it to anything. So a few money back Nigerians that wanted to fly, they can fly, but they will know that their passenger will drop. You can never have any full-blown passengers.
You think that the increase in the airfares or tickets recently to not led to the threshold of 50,000 and above is not justifiable?
It's not justifiable. It's not. And that is why they are shouting. They have seen it that passengers, they have dropped. When we are talking, they will be using, because of security challenges, the road is not it's not fair, it's not safe, it's not this. Yes, but people are still traveling by road. People are still traveling by sea. There are still other means of transportation other than by air. You cannot be threatening us that because traveling by air is for the rich people. No. If you say it's for the rich people, you will be operating at loss because the common people, the middle class people, will choose another means of transportation. And this is what has happened. They have felt it. If they want to tell you the truth, because we are taking our statistics, we are making our record, we are watching how many passengers comes. The passengers have dropped when they have increased. That's why they are shouting. They went behind the scene. They called them, the National Assembly called them to come and talk. You have now seen that they have exposed themselves. A lot of things has been exposed. A lot of things have been, within themselves, not us. Because they are going to have a meeting with us maybe next week. They have invited us to come. We are going to. Again, because we have presented case before the National Assembly more than 3 times at the open hearing.
Now, share with us, comrade.
Yes.
Share with us the relationship between your union and the airline operators. How do you work together to ensure seamlessness in the sector?
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, all these airlines are money mongers.
You call the airlines money mongers?
Yes, they like to make profit without investing into the production of labor, the workers. How many of them have sent? How many? Wait, let me tell you. Comrade, that is why we can never have any relationship. Yeah, but how many of them have they sent people to INCAT?
Yeah, comrade. But the point is, these people are investors who brought their own money to float an airline. Creating a platform for employment for people. So why would you call them money mongers?
Thank you very much. Because the money they make, when they employ people, the money they make, they don't invest it into the capital. You see, when you see capital and you get surplus value, from the surplus value, you must invest it back to the labor. Not only labor and the operational costs. Most of them will divert that money for another business. So thereby affecting the airline operation. So that is why we are not at par. We are not at par at all. Because where they see it is for them to make profit. Where there is no profit, then there is problem. And we want that surplus value you are making to be invested, to be reinvested into the capital where the workforce, terms and conditions of service, salary structure will be improved.
All right. Now, but if someone who is an investor owns his business and decides to run his profit, channel it to however and wherever he wants to channel it to, don't they have a right to do that?
There is labor law. There is ILO convention. When you are an employer, there must be do's and don'ts. There is this issue of compulsorily you must provide terms and conditions of service. the salary structure, the way the employee you serve. But they are not doing it.
Aren't the airline operators doing that?
Ooh, for where? My friend, they are the one encouraging casualization. And when they hear that the union wants to come, those people that they identify will be sacked. It has been there on and on. And again, they went and employ tactics.
Okay.
That before you are employed, you must feel that you will not belong to a union. You will fill a form, you will sign undertaking that you
right.
thereby depriving them of their fundamental human right.
All right.
Yes.
I'll come back to you shortly. We have joining us now to lend a voice to this former Deputy Secretary General, Airline Operators of Nigeria, Mohammed Tukur, joining us to give us insight into this. It's good to have you join me, Alhaji Tukur.
Very good.
How are you, Mike? How is the weather?
Well, the weather has been, let me say, friendly the last couple of days, but it's nice. Now, it's good to have you join us now. We have Comrade Saidu Razak in the studio, and we've been talking about some challenges in the aviation sector for some time. He said that a lot of the blame will go to airline operators as well as the government on one hand. Now, share with us some of the challenges, especially with the issue of airfares that are rising and the call for licenses to be given to airline operators to import their own Jet A1 fuel. Talk to us in that regard.
Okay, let me start with the importation of Jet A1. I think we have done that when we were in Chenchengi some years back. You don't need at that time, we don't need any licensing. What we did, we imported fuel and give it to AFI, keep it for us because there is a fuel scarcity. So if mother of the passenger traveler at that time remember that only Chenchengi fly without having a fuel scarcity. And we do that before. So at present now, if the government decided to say, okay, we will give you license and you can go and import it, let it be. Because some of them, if you look at the chairman of Azman here is an oil man. He always be in the oil sector. So if they decided to form a group as AON to import fuel by themselves, it's good. It's a very good thing. But government is not going to lose anything. It's not free. You can't take a fuel inside the tarmac, giving an aircraft without paying at least minimum $1 per liter. Do you understand? Or some charges which Federal Airport Authority normally charge for every oil marketer in that sector who normally give a fuel to airline operator, both international and local. That's one. Number two, I think my brother Comrade Said has missed the whole thing. It's not 70. We are not in 70. If you remember, the airline normally pay their passenger service pay as you go. Any passenger who buy ticket, you will see a sticker. Without that sticker, you cannot pass, to go and board a flight. Why? Because airline normally go and pay 10 million, 20 million and collect that sticker. And if you are talking about landing and parking, like flying, we have navigation charges. You can't fly any aircraft without paying that number. So it's not like in 70, like 20 years back, where we normally fly. At the end of the day, they will give us an invoice and we pay. That era is over. So nobody is owing anything when it has come to debt, except if it is a previous bill that people are not paying. So that's what I think is getting wrong on that. The challenge is APR, yes. If you are buying fuel like 300 or 200 naira, now it's 300 to 700. One airline increasing the airfare. They increase airfare because the handling, those who are handling an airline like putting step, carrying luggage. Before, for handling, putting a step alone for 1 hour is 10,000 naira. Now they change it, increase it to 50, 25, 70,000 per hour. So where do you get that money to pay? When you are charging 35,000, 30,000, 50, definitely that's the reason why they increase the airfare to 51, 53,000 naira. So today now, the fuel now is 700 naira. Let me tell you, we are trying to order an aircraft, about 3 of them, but guess what? We have to suspend it. We have to suspend it to wait and see, because all you have planned, the calculation, how much you are going to charge airline, you have to go back again, or you stop operating. I even decided that it's better you buy a private charter aircraft for you to charge whatever you want than even charging a passenger, because you can't charge 150,000 naira for a 4 to 5 minute flight. Who's going to get the money to pay? The situation is not government really. It has to do with the crude oil that go up because of this war. So many things are getting, affected. So all these things, issue of whether employment or whatever, is not like a 70. And if we are talking about casualization of our airline when it has come to you now, so you know very well, Aero Control and the other airline, you find that there is a lot of issue when union get involved, because they are getting into the NSC. So there is so many things. Only the new one who are coming, they know the benefit of joint union. Do you understand? Because sometimes they fight for them, they fight for the staff. So very simple. It's not the way the picture he's putting it, and that's the way it is. We know that some are not doing what they're supposed to do in terms of employment. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the NCA is on top of the situation, and they are talking to them. Everybody is trying to. Nigeria is one of the great countries. Aviation is one of the best. You can't do it differently from anywhere in the world. If Saidu remember during those periods of time, 70 back, you can take a part from one aircraft and put to another aircraft, but now you cannot do it. So a lot of things has changed. The age limit of an aircraft and so on and so on. You can't bring an aircraft now in this country less than 18 years. It's not possible. They will not allow you. So that's it.
All right. Haji Tukur, let me ask you this question that Comrade Saidu had talked about earlier. He talked about the issue of airlines remitting, dues and charges they're supposed to pay to authorities and passengers and all of that. Now, we know that passengers pay, is a postpaid service where you pay before you travel. And we also assume that the cost of everything is already factored into the airline ticket or the fare that you're supposed to pay. So every monies that airlines are supposed to pay to whoever is already, present in what every passenger pays. But airlines are still owing some monies here and there. What do you say to that? Alhaji Tukur, are you there?
Yeah, I didn't hear the last question you asked, but now I understand that you are talking about oil. It's just like what I said. If you look at the passenger service for Federal Airport Authority, I told you that airline normally pay their money before the flight and get the sticker, which is sold by Federal Airport Authority, and they will put it in your ticket. That one is clear. The only one that may be if some airline are not paying is 5% to NCAA. And NCAA is on top of the situation. And I can assure you they are remitting their money, because if they are not remitting that money, NCAA will ground you. That's the truth. But you can't fly without oil. For example, if you are flying now, you are taking your flight to Abuja, 5% of that ticket, that particular 5% for Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, you can't pay it at that time. Maybe you pay it at the end of the month or the next day. Because I know the system I operate. I pay it every week. Do you understand? And the bill is saying 1 month. But if you know what you are doing, you pay it weekly. So you are not going to accumulate some funds. So I believe the previous airline who are not in business now, they are oil really. So you can't take those who are not in the system now and to put it on top of the people who are operating. Because the system has changed. That's what I'm trying to make Comrade Said to understand.
All right, okay.
System has changed.
Okay.
It's not like before. Yeah.
All right, we have to leave you here now. Thank you so much, Haji Mohammed Tukur, former Deputy Secretary General, Airline Operators of Nigeria. We appreciate you for your contribution and clarification in this regard. Thank you. All right, Comrade Saidu, you heard Alhaji Tukur. You guys, sorry, both of you have been working together, so you're familiar with each other. But what do you say? How do you react to what he has talked about?
Yeah, Alhaji Tukur is my friend, and he's a very good guru in
Aviation.
airline operation.
Okay.
But since he left the scene, there are a lot of different types of characters in the industry. So he should not forget that very recently, AMCOM wanted to collect license to operate an airline through the back door. The unions rose against it. Then they summoned all the people because ARIC was owing. They want to cover that thing, and that is what has happened. Bellevue, many of them like that, owing federal government and went on the ground with those debts. Nobody did anything, and he's aware of that. So they agree. All those airlines agree that ARIC agree that he's owing NCA, he's owing FAN, he's owing NAMA. Then they now say, well, how do you pay? Do you hear any noise again? That is why, so that's one cent signal.
Have they paid now?
They are paying gradually.
Okay.
You see, that 1 cent signal to other airlines that this 5% passenger service charge must be paid because passengers have already paid. Mm-hmm. It is not your money.
So
you have to
the money is available.
That is why what he said, the tag. That the moment your ticket get the tag, it shows that you have paid. You can fly. Then the money go and pay to that. They don't pay, and he doesn't know because he has left the industry for long. He is only within his industry. He is very highly experienced someone. He call a spade a spade. But what I think I will be differ from what he's saying is that I am talking like maybe the 70s or it is not so. It is recently. When AMCON came, he is aware what happens to aero contractors, what happened to ARIC. They changed the management and run it. But when it becomes going at the backyard for how many years to collect a license to float an airline, the airline that has been in existence too, you cannot run them. Then what is happening? We say, okay, don't give that AOC until ARIC pay the debt. They establish the debt. The same thing happens to other. I don't want to be mentioning, but because of this one, it's really open. It has become a national discourse. So we cannot now again, as union leaders, open our eye and sit down, close our mouth, and allow an airline to be issuing threats to the federal government.
All right, no problem.
We can't accept that.
All right.
When their own responsibility is lacking.
All right. We will have more time because these are ongoing issues and we wait to see how these things pan out. And I'm looking forward to having you on the program again so we can make more clarifications as we get along. Thank you so much, Comrade Saidu, for coming.
All I have said is without prejudice to anybody's thinking, it is the Labour's position of it.
No problem.
We want airlines to be flying, but when they don't do it the way to, many of them went on the ground. I thank you very much for finding it necessary to invite me today.
Thank you.